mind is okay. She off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. My ego die the political. My ego don't come. This one not the off in mind. My ego don't come. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my egun don't come. So my people make you loud. My egun don't come. My people make you shout. My egun don't come. Man of the masses.
Hello there. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun Live.
Glory Facebook, glory YouTube.
It is going to be a long night. Let me say this beforehand. And it is going to be an interesting night. Today in Kaduna, a lot happened. But I'm going to bring you the most interesting parts. Even though we know that their election is a charade, somehow it is also the moment of truth. So tonight, we are going to take them on their words. Climate change. What you don't know about climate change, you will know today. And just like we did for others, we'll first have to hear from them. Today, Kolu was in Kaduna. Listen, see, Lagos Abobakus. Look at me very well. You might have to sort of hate me more or dislike me more. But there's nothing you can do without me. I am the realest person that can bring to you some of the things that they are telling you to overlook. In other words, right? I am supposed to be your best friend, but some of you just don't like me. Fair enough. I don't like you too. But tonight, we are going to Water, go splash everywhere. But first, in fairness to them, we will first listen to them. So on your own part, what you just need to do now is this. Take a moment, leave the comment section, okay? And like this broadcast. Share it. If you can't share or like, it is probably because you haven't subscribed, okay? Now, subscribe onto my YouTube channel. Like it on Facebook. And relax for my brother. Peter Obi was in Kaduna today. So for you to have an idea of what happened in Kaduna today, right, you first have to know who invited them, right? And then what was the purpose? Well, a lot is going on all over the world. You see, our interest in what they are doing in Nigeria is to further educate the minds of everyone on why, no matter what you think you are doing right now towards their 2023 elections, okay, you have good art, good intention, as some would say. But whatever you are doing right now, just believe it that you are just playing the already written scripts. And as it is, you are only playing your part in that script. They know what we hand it. And somehow, we hope that you will be strong enough, courageous enough, to resist them when the whole script get to the end. You know, the end, at the end matter, which is your 2023. But a lot of things, a lot of things are happening all over the world that we should be mindful of. One of them, we might, we may wake up tomorrow and then Putin might have probably new course, and we probably will be sheltering on the ground. Our electricity may go off, and anything can happen in the next coming days. That is something that people like us here are, concerned too, worried. But we still have to live, right? So if you are in Nigeria and then as bad as it is, if you are in Africa, as bad as it is right now, one of the things you don't have to worry about is a nuclear boom. I don't want to imagine it. That's something to worry about. But you see, that of Nigeria is a disaster waiting to happen. And in that script, we know the players, we know the actors, we know the script writers, right? We know the actors, we know the directors, we know the players and all of that. And we know the spectators too. Last, no matter what you have in mind, no matter which of the camps you belong to, you are all, as long as it is for this, your one Nigeria, look at me very well. You are working for the same master, but you will soon find out. However, there are, the lovers of freedom, the defender of human rights, the descendants of the Biafra heroes and heroines. They converged this weekend, or this past weekend, in Liverpool and London, in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Before we delve into tonight's detail, so let's say a bit of a shout out to them for those who came and showed up in Liverpool, the Biafrans, the friends of Biafrans, and the friends of our lovers of freedom who are solidarized in the UK for 2 days. It's called a Million Man March for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A shout out to all the participants. A quick one. Thank you. I told you it's going to be a long night. It is going to be a long night. I said it. But please, do me one very, very good favor. The moment you notice that the audio is down, start typing audio, audio, audio. So I'll get to know that, yeah, something is wrong. And I'm going to keep my eye on my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, Gedegbe, collected fire today in Kaduna. But we are going to go over this one after the other. You can put it, I should have made it, the rider should have been Tinubu versus Obi versus El-Rufai. But that would be, kind of too draggy, but I'm going to make you understand. El-Rufai of Kaduna, the Kaduna little finger, had this personal animosity, or should I say, vengeance against Igbos in Nigeria, and he never hid it. He never hid that. Oh, you see, with that Peter Obi, now special one as well. You know why? They said back then, right, when Peter Obi was governor, right, Kaduna little finger was in Anambra when they were doing Anambra governorship election. As an inspector, I don't know, therefore an inspection on behalf of his own political party. So he said, immediately he landed in Anambra. Peter Obi just pick up the phone and say, oh, yeah, arrest him. Without delay, the Nigerian police from Abuja, they just grabbed the little finger and they arrested, they detained him, which is, they locked him up in his hotel room. Wow. I mean, I don't know, as a political party member, if you have that a clearance, but is Nigeria be? That was the height of it. So any day where Peter Obi come Kaduna, Arewa fire that is on fire. Could show some display, but he didn't. Fair enough, he didn't. Because the event that Peter Obi went to attend in Kaduna on invitation of the Arewa Joint Committee, which included the Christians, the Muslims, and all of that from the northern part of Nigeria, Arewa. So I think that is why Arewa couldn't really do much. Or maybe, immediately Obi go to Kaduna. As they say, you have to go and pay homage to the owner of the land and tell them that you are here for something. Like this man, the main man, Sheikh Osama bin Gumi. You know him? I mean, for tonight, okay? For the sake of the obedient, Sheikh Osama bin Gumi is not a terrorist sympathizer. Because if you don't want to hurt the feelings of the obedient, some of them, or not all of them, because some of them have spoken out like, Obi need to be careful. Baba, it is now you they try to pretend. There is no difference between Shekau and Babangida and Abdusalami Abubakar and this Sheikh Gumi or Tukomamu, the one that collected the billions, negotiating for the release of collected billions as ransom, while negotiating for the release of the Kaduna or Abuja Kaduna rail passengers kidnapped in March this year. There is no difference. And if you want to be Nigeria president, you have to meet them. Exactly. That was the explanation. I said, but Atiku also met with, in fact, they are like paddy. Remember? They said, man, you gonna forget it. This one is Atiku is a sympathizer. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Atiku doesn't mean well for this country, Jare. I said, but what about Gumi? That one is a terrorist sympathizer. Meeting with Atiku, they are friends. So I said, oh, okay. But on the right, see, Mayegun. You need to know better, okay? In politics, you have to meet the good, the bad, and everything. So, Obi, I said, okay, I understand. I just, it's just part of the sideline of what happened in Kaduna. But the Pabambari, the big one, was when Kolu, His Excellency GCFR, OMF, DFAD, DVDC or DVD, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Mayegun, that's our next president. When Asiwaju become president, Mayegun, let me tell you, God will shame you. I said, hey, amen. Because even me, seriously, I actually want God to shame me. So that is by allowing your criminal leaders to deliver just a little human packaged policies that will touch your lives. So that means everyone can say, oh my God is great too. Hey, in my lifetime, when we did, gone are the days when we were using no electricity, corruption, bad leadership, ethnicity, and the rest of that as the ingredient that will tear Nigeria apart. Wait. Nigeria, they now have a 24 hours electricity, So that's kind of a good shame, isn't it? Like, I'll be happy for you. But I know you say the kind of shame where they look for God to do for me is that make God just make this Mayegun end up in the hell that many of you are pretending to be enduring. So you can wish anything because that's what you do. You only have to wish. And you pray that your wish should come true. I believe that the top of your wish in life is to have a better, safe, industrious, prosperous life and long life, Abi. And these are the things that the criminals, the aged, sick rogues leading you, those are the things they've stolen from you. I didn't steal them. I didn't steal your education. I didn't steal your infrastructure. I didn't steal your anything. I am just a former victim that is doing his best to warn the current victims that life is better, but I don't think you can get any better life from the rogues like this. But let's start with Kolu, your grandfather that should be at old people's home in Badagry. You decided to give him the top job. I mean, there are millions of mumus like you handling for him. But in a democracy, that's one thing about democracy. I don't know how many of you actually heard that. If you probably undertook political science, I bet there will be time they will tell you that democracy is one of the craziest, dubious, and foolish system of government. I don't know if anybody has ever said that to you. Yeah, I mean, the critics of democracy, as beautiful as it is. You know why? They said democracy is a game of numbers, okay? And in a democracy, the people with the highest number of votes decide or determines who becomes what. Abi, is that not what you do in democracy, Abi? Now, see, the critics of democracy now said, their worries, they said, since it is a game of number, now, if you have foolish people, mad people, you have 60 million mad people in Nigeria. I didn't say that, your psychologist said that. They said you have 60 million people, mad people in Nigeria, but they are not on the streets. Some of them are watching me too from Nigeria, and you can read their comments. And sometimes you just feel like, what are they saying? What is this one saying? It is madness. They are here. They said, mad people, foolish people, stupid people, in large numbers, they can elect a president. They can elect a governor. They can elect a drug baron. They can elect a murderer. They can elect a genocidist. Foolish people, selfish people, greedy people. Do you get that now? Because it's democracy. That's democracy. If not, if nobody says something is wrong with people, what is the motivation about somebody they're supposed to pay money to go and look at in Badagry, in Yoruba land? They say, ẹni tí wọn bá tà kàn fi ra èèyàn àkàrà. Oh, sorry, èèyàn àtùpà tó lóhun àjítànnáwò. I'll manage to interpret that loosely, okay? Which is somebody that should be sold to buy a lamp thread suddenly turned himself or feels like is somebody that people should hold lamp, touch, to come and take a look at, somebody interesting, somebody so great and all of that. Bàbá yín tó yẹ kẹ́ gbé lọ Badagry létí omi headquarter àwọn ẹ̀fọn kẹ́ fumigate gbogbo area yẹn kẹ́ wá kó àwọn arúgbó bíi tiẹ̀ kẹ́ lóhùn ní president wọn You should be going there like excursion, tourism. When I can't put that one on the national TV, this is not APC, Egbekegbe's usual gathering that they will just continue to clap in order to cover the gap. But I am not going to kind of make you feel like, you don't judge already before. That's why I say it's a long night. If it's becoming boring, well, it's going to be cracking. You're going to be laughing somehow. Okay? And as they say in Yoruba land, were don't wo kò ṣe bí lọ́mọ, but tó bá lówó lọ́wọ́, àwọn èèyàn á máa ṣọ, wọn á bá wèrè jó, ìyẹn ni ti Tinubu. But in a democracy, you get your right. I actually have my own right too. My own right is, in that same democracy, I am also allowed, people like me, who don't want to participate in the charade, we are also allowed to peacefully gather, peacefully meet, and mobilize, and rally too, and campaign against that same fraudulent election and every other thing that is wrong. But in Nigeria, you don't have a democracy, right? You just have some clowns, old and young, making promises to the larger clowns. Tifnumbu, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're going to start from. Before we get to that of, Herufaya. Tifnumbu is there to pledge. He said, I will pledge to you. Wait, let me drink water. Just let me drink water. Then he said, let me pledge to you. I'm looking for that clip. It's this a long one, right? So, in Kaduna, let's start with this.
I can guarantee you is that throughout this period, and I stand before here, I'm making you a promise that will be fulfilled. For us, we are sitting on a gold mine with abundant natural resources, with strategic investment in research and development, and effective management of resources. We will exploit our resources to the fullest. There is no local government in this country where there is no resource or endowment that can be harnessed for greater economic development. If it is only cassava self, there are so many extractions and economic opportunity that we can bring out of a cassava tuber. Our major economic challenges are underinvestment, the ineffective management, and this is what I am bringing to the table. A good experience, can-do attitude, thinking and doing it. Our economic plan, we utilize the vast natural resources we have through strategic investment in infrastructure, which will lead to the diversification of economy and wealth creation across the country. We will pay attention to modern economic drivers such as digital economy, creative industry, sport, entertainment, all sectors for the benefit of our young people. The APC federal government has taken several measures to build infrastructure and improve on ease of doing business. This has been completed by effort of some of our states. They are working to attract investment in diverse sectors of the economy. They will be encouraged by the federal government. Under my leadership, Nigerian government will be business friendly. We shall support private businesses in our country and extract foreign direct investment to create jobs, accelerated industrialization, and accelerated economic development. It is the duty of federal government to create incentive and support successful ventures that we absorb our millions of youths. On power sector, power, which is perhaps the greatest invention of man, of humanity, in the last 1,000 years. Power is essential for human activities. There can be no industrial revolution without power. I hope we get that one right. I will prioritize strengthening of our existing power reforms as a catalyst to sustain industrialization. Aside the ongoing power intervention of federal government, I know that 19 northern states and FCT have incorporated a special purpose vehicle to build 100 megawatts of solar projects per state.
Okay. Somebody pressed the buzzer and said, boring. I know, he's reading it in a script. He actually pre-warned. He said, they told me. Listen to him. He said, they told him to stick to, Baba, once we get there. Maybe Nasheyi told him, Daddy, what we are saying is that when we get to that venue, okay, just stick to the scripts we gave to you. Don't try to do anything outside that script. There is a clip where he actually said that before he read that script.
Back on focus, because I've been warned to stay on script.
Did you get that? So he's following script there. That is why it's boring. Okay? Now, there is a part he wasn't following script before question and answer time. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to go to that. Okay? Where he's pledging without having to, to read what they gave him. Check this out. It was an opportunity to speak his mind freely. So this is not so boring, and it could be incoherent, unrelated and all that, but it's worth it.
Even my greatest rival today met me with Yaradua. Atiku Abubakar met me with Yaradua. I was one of the youngest, brilliant strategists of late Shehu Yaradua. He was just out of custom that time. Ask him to go and read the civil service regulation. They asked him questions. How did you make money? He said, from selling cars. Can you, as a civil servant, involve in other trades and businesses? No. You have attracted disqualification. You don't deserve to compete with others. Drawn inspiration, I've said that. My political history is full of examples of long, abiding support for the North. No Ribadu was on our platform. I've supported Atiku Abubakar in 2007. Then, don't blame me if I ask for the payback period. It's payback. Let him endorse me now. Instead of conducting rally around Kaduna while I'm talking to great people here. So it's credit. The North is paid back in good measure. I am the flag bearer of our party today, partly because of the decision of the Northern APC governors, who rose to the occasion by standing up for our country and unity of our people against primordial consideration. I thank them again and again. By so doing, they have demonstrated that indeed the North is a region that keeps its word and always promotes justice. Not only Quranic teaching. Permit me to restate that I have the competence, the knowledge, experience to provide good leadership to the country and run it very well. I come to seek your confidence in me. I am not an island. However, I have demonstrated capacity to attract men and women of great mind who can think and perform, who can build a nation. I can make reference to Go Atlantic in Lagos now. It's the one of the most audacious projects that this man will embark on. Federal government, year after year, had pumped sand and some stone concrete and to stop the surge. My uncles, they will take black cows and pigs to the river that the spirits want something. Said lie. Science defeated it all and made it possible. With the support of Almighty God, you will want to live there. You will say and marvel if you go to Lagos. What is a co-Atlantic? That's the audacious, bold endeavors that I can embark upon. Just leave me to express my inspiration. Support me. To drive my imagination. Vote for me to become that minority president
The inspiration called Biwa. But one thing I didn't get there was when he said something about the cows, taking the cows to the river. Well, science has defeated that and all of that. I think that one is like, the usual old man talk, Abi. I told you, it's going to get more interesting. The part we are going to get to right now is about education, economy, livestock, Fulani, others, and climate change. Remember, Tinubu is not completely out of his depth. He is still surrounded by praise singers who are trying to manage and say, okay, everything is still fine for now. Everything is fine now. But you know what? He can no longer stand to take all the questions, because this time around, intelligence, inspiration, and everything that is coming to Baba, even if you are standing on Kilimanjaro, waiting till Tinubu they see, including the spirits, if you see them. Now, question and answer time. The few parts we managed to get out before we get to the part of climate change and church rats, eating communion, or cutting down trees to stop firewood, and at the same time plant everything, if you are not so too tired yet, it's not going to be boring anymore. But question time, Alimajiri school, what would you do, Tinubu? One of them that they asked. So it went on. This one is a stretch. Relax. Write down your points. We'll talk about them soon.
Are we sure that you can be delivered in your tenure? Thank you, sir. Okay, Professor. We're trying to put all the questions together so that, because we're...
I know. Your Excellency, the presidential aspirant of APC. Candidate.
Worry, woman, ye. Candidate. I can mention you now. Which one is aspirant? The APC candidate. Watch.
Are we sure that you can be delivered in your tenure? Thank you, sir. Okay, Professor. We're trying to put all the questions together so that, because we're...
I know. Your Excellency, the presidential aspirant of APC. Candidate. Thank you very much for the correction. Mine is on environment. Northern Nigeria and Nigeria as a whole is going through serious issues of the impact of climate change. Flooding, aridity, species invasion, and so on and so forth. Yet, we have ecological fund and we have NEMA. Please, in your own blueprint, how would you assess such agencies that are failing Nigerians? Because as it is now, they are doing a post-mortem when climate change has already revamped or messed up communities. Lokoja is underwater. Jigawa State, Taifa Grass, this and that, and yes, we have agencies. Please, what's your blueprint to really make these agencies?
It covers most of the things that I would have asked you. Why should the North trust you? Because you have said all the reasons why the North should trust you. Sorry. If you become president, you will be succeeding another APC president. The question in the mind of Northerners, which you would have to answer, is to assure us of what you will do differently from what the president you are going to take over from is doing. We want to know how you will solve our security problem. Our back is against the wall. We want you to tell us what you will do about the North, that the economy of the North has crumbled, sir. When you become president, would you need to put timelines But we want to know if you will be different from President Buhari or you will continue with doing what President Buhari is doing. And if you are going to do it, sir, when and how are you going to do it? This is what the North is interested in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From the panel, we've discussed, but all the issues that are already addressed in his address, he may just brush over them. But those that are new, he will elaborate if so wish. Your Excellency.
Well, first of all, I will respond to what will I do on Almajiri system. It's classified into two by me. Some are nomadic, some are sedentary. It's a matter of collaborating with states, nation building, give operational guidelines in the Constitution, and assign responsibility. But nowhere in the Constitution has it forbidden collaboration. Nowhere in the Constitution that I want to buy land from state government because they are the custodian, the trust of land is in their custody. Buy land, build houses, offer job to build schools, offer job to the elementary teachers, and extend the school feeding programs in collaboration with the state to those students. If only 1 hour or 2 hours of learning a day, you will improve their life. If you allow the elementary teacher an engagement like any other teacher engaged for vernacular, what we are learning from the Holy Book is Arabic language. Otherwise, there are many things we can do the same way, but differently. We will, with strong determination. You need to invest in the classroom. You need to have a clinic there. I've done it when I was short of teachers in Lagos. No one wants to go to the rural area. Then I build clinics for them. And I give them extra allowance as an incentive to do it. We can do it. Human mind can change. You can enforce those changes without cane, antagonism, and guns. You can eat a good banana without the peel. We will build it. I am determined. It's a shame for people not to understand that education is the greatest weapon against poverty. We do it, I promise you. The literacy rate is the same thing. We have a very challenging literary rate in Lagos, which is going down now. I am very, very proud of what I did. I am the son of the market woman leader of blessed memory. My mother is a good woman. May God grant her eternal fidelity. I went to a meeting in her house, and this woman approached me for 2,500. I said, what do you do? She said, Bola, roasted plantain. And she said he had a third child that will drop out of school because they cannot pay Wike fee. And I asked my mom, what do you think? He said, pay it. I didn't know that I've opened the kind of war. I promise. Before the following time, I started paying YXC for all students, all inclusive, whether you are Igbo, Hausa, or anybody. If I want to compete for House of Assembly or House of Rep, I won't say because I am a woman, I give you way. But if you struggle well, and the party make special concessions, we can recruit more women because they work better. And
support law, our law. Now, some of you may think we are mocking him. Politically, yes, we are. But I actually feel sorry for him. Because that's what you have to deal with when he becomes your president. That's what you have to deal with. I mean, they are telling me already, Mayego, you will have to deal with it. He's your next president. But if that man happened to be your father or your grandfather, come on, it's a pity. You need to have some pity. I mean, yeah, fine. Many of you, with what you have faced in Nigeria, with what Nigeria has shown you, shege. You know, get everything don't block, everything don't code. But you they see, you have vision, you they hear. There must be something left in you that should have something called empathy. So don't transfer what they have done to you to me. Don't stop transferring your aggression to me. Forget about this now. Just have some empathy. Like, if now, because you know what I felt like when I was listening there? I felt like I was listening to my grandpa. That I'm, just visited an old people's home. This grandpa is a retired politician. You know what I mean? So good old days. Maybe you just came and you say, Daddy, you know the news today. Yeah, they have these people want to be president, want to be this or that, and they are promising they will do something on education. Then you, in that old people's home, with what he's suffering from, with amnesia, no amnesia, I think it's dementia, and then no eczema. Eczema that one na crocro, no be eczema na crocro. It's Alzheimer. See, you shall know dementia. You go on key, off key, on key, off key, and that's what you witness in that. That's not in the scripts. For the health professionals who normally kind of watches Mayego, you are seeing something that cracks you up. You are laughing. They are seeing something which is a developing, chronic, dementia. And that's how it's going to be. And that is why they have to keep him away from public as much as possible. You can't grill him. It's going to go off key. Eating fresh banana. How does that one have to do with Almajiri school? He didn't say anything about, okay, we are going to do this. No. He said they will employ women, employ teacher, Almajiri teacher, teaching vernacular in the Arabic school. I mean, in the Quran, we learned Arabic. And all those things he said that some of you probably remember. Some of you are as crazy as Mayegun, but you always call me crazy. Many crazy people there. They say many weary one leg. Director's court. You are supposed to be a class captain in the temple of truth. The captain, the temple captain. Princess, Bolu, Lady Abby, all of you. You are supposed to be prefects of different positions in the temple. But now they lead the violence in the gathering. And that is why we are trying to, or should I say, I'm trying to make you see the inner picture of whatever they are glossing over for you. What you do with that information is your own. So when you see all the class captains or the prefects who are already leading the violence in the comments on YouTube, or if you are not on YouTube, you are missing. On Facebook, Lagos Abobakus are there. They are there like rabid dogs right now. They are biting anybody they can bite. Where's your father? Where's your mother? Your useless mother. Your mother that is a prostitute. Your Ashewo mama. Your grandma. That's what they are doing right now on Facebook. But if you want to see proper violence or something, you should be on YouTube. You have no idea. But I just call you to order. It's like, in the garden, right? Everybody do what they want to do. Babaji Okondu. Hey, everybody, attention. Director's court, Bolu, Princess, what are you doing? And you lead the squad, and everybody say, sorry, Babaji, we'll come back to normal. Yeah, let's go back to normal. Because there are more questions. We haven't got to the part of climate change, okay? And you cannot disrupt this service when we are not even in the middle. You haven't even know that Wike has returned. Did you know that? Wike has returned. Atifu's problem continue. And here you are. Don't disrupt the class. Somebody asked about climate change. That is when I realized that climate change that everybody is talking about, all this